Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of the Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirecTV 348, Sling, Roku, and Apple TV.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Well, we have typically selected presidents who are not criminals. This time we may have missed the mark, and we've selected a president who seems to know no bounds. He violates the emoluments clauses. He enriches himself at the expense of American taxpayers. He takes money from foreign governments in order to benefit himself. He bends policy in the direction of those governments, whether it's Saudi Arabia or another country, to enhance his own wealth. And now we understand he may have been making some kind of deal with Ukraine, perhaps to get information of a negative kind about Joe Biden's son in exchange for aid to Ukraine. It's treachery, if not treason, and it's bribery, and it's unacceptable.
Treachery, if not treason. That's Lawrence Tribe. He is a constitutional scholar. Harvard wrote the book that is used to teach constitutional law at Ivy League law schools and others. Lawrence Tribe. So, you got to be careful with the words. As I've always told you, treason happens in a time of war. He's calling it treachery. I'm saying Donald Trump is a traitor to this nation. For a guy whose, whole slogan is America first, he puts us last, as you know. He puts himself first, always and above all else, including the law of this country. So here's where we are right this second. Nancy Pelosi is going to make an announcement in just about an hour and a half, a little more, 5 o'clock Eastern time. It's 3:22 Eastern right now. The president has just put out a statement with regard to the phone call, which he has mischaracterized already. He said that the phone call was a beautiful phone call. He has said that he's never asked for information about Biden. Now he says he did ask for information about Biden. Then he said he's entitled to ask for information about Biden. Then he said that it's really about corruption. He had to be sure that Ukraine wasn't corrupt, like, Saudi Arabia or China or Russia, which is the eighth most corrupt country on the planet, which is saying a lot. That's saying a lot when you consider places like Somalia and Yemen and Sudan, right? So they're the eighth most corrupt country, but he's not concerned about their corruption. Here's Ukraine trying to clean up their government and having done this for 5 years. He's concerned about their corruption. Well, then that didn't fly. Everybody, like me, pointed out that is just plain bizarre. He loves Duterte. He loves Kim Jong-un. These are the most, oppressive, corrupt places on the freaking planet. But he's concerned about Zelensky's Ukraine, and he's holding up $250 million, which actually turned out to be almost $400 million, $370 million. It's like, here's another $140 million for you. Now I want the dirt. And now he's saying, oh no. You know what it's really about now? It's about Europe doesn't contribute to Ukraine, which is a lie. It's completely false. In the homework, there is a whole report from Ukraine and the European Union about all the money that they have contributed to Ukraine's small businesses, to Ukraine's big businesses, to Ukraine's infrastructure, to Ukraine. Yeah, they've given millions and millions. So that's a lie too. But he keeps on changing, just like they always do. They keep on changing the reason. So now Trump has put this statement out. Now, I want you to be very, very clear about what this is and what this is not, okay? And we only go with what we got. So here's what we got. Quote, this is Donald Trump just moments ago. I am currently at the United Nations representing our country. Yeah, he's at the United Nations representing nationalism. Why go to a United Nations if your whole thing is nationalism and you don't need any of the work? It's just so stupid. But anyway, he says, I am currently at the United Nations representing our country, but have authorized the release tomorrow of the complete, fully declassified and unredacted transcript of my phone conversation with President Zelensky of Ukraine. Okay. Where is the actual complaint that was filed by the Inspector General of the intelligence community and the whistleblower? See, that is what Congress is entitled to have by law. The law is like the tax law: shall furnish, shall give, shall produce, right? So it's the same big word, shall. It's not may, it's not will, it's shall. They have to within 7 days of the completion of their review of a whistleblower's complaint. All right. So we're not getting the complaint tomorrow. No. And the complaint, if we're getting accurate reporting, which I believe we are, is a tapestry of events. It is not just a phone call, right? It is a bunch of things that have happened, and I'll bet you anything that bunch includes Rudy Giuliani's many visits to shake down Ukraine, to Paris, to Madrid, Pence's visit to Zelensky, Trump canceling Poland. See, now we know why Trump didn't go to Poland. Trump didn't go to Poland because Zelensky was supposed to be there, and Trump wasn't ready to give the money to Zelensky. And in fact, Trump only released the money after he found out that there was a whistleblower complaint that accused him of withholding this money. Same day that the complaint was filed was the same day that he released the money. You see, that's why timelines are so important. All right. So tomorrow we're going to get the transcript of a phone call, but we're not going to get the DNI report. We're not going to get the Inspector General's report, and we're not getting the whistleblower's actual complaint. This is required by law. Adam Schiff just tweeted, a couple of minutes ago, and he tells us, we have been informed by the Whistleblowers Council that their client would like to speak to our committee and has requested guidance from this Joe McGuire, the master thespian at DNI, from the acting DNI as to how to do so. We're in touch with counsel and look forward to the whistleblower's testimony as soon as this week. Okay, so we know we're going to get the acting DNI's testimony on Thursday. I think the acting DNI is going to be held in inherent contempt if he refuses to answer the questions that Congress asks him. And they are going to ask about the contents of the complaint. They're going to ask who directed him not to follow the law that said that they shall receive the complaint within 14 days, and those days are done, and they did not get the complaint. They're going to ask all kinds of questions. And when the DNI doesn't answer, or if the DNI falsely answers, or if the DNI resists answering, or says he's got some privilege that he doesn't have under this law, I expect fully that there will be a resolution voted. I guess it's going to be ready. I would hope that Nadler has it ready at Judiciary to serve this DNI, this Joe McGuire, with an order of inherent contempt. Call the sergeant at arms and either begin fining him daily, an astronomical amount of money, or jail him. Problem is we don't have an official jail. I suggest Trump Hotel at the old Postal Building, because if Trump can make a nickel off of it, he'll be all for it. Just saying. So, and then also this week, and today's only Tuesday, so we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the whistleblower wants to testify.